Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be going over why you should buy a BMW F20 M135i or M140i in 2021. So let's get on to the video.
What? Goddamn, get it done, will ya? Woo! When the blow up now, everybody's so unusual with it. Shit. But said times in his rhymes, cause his memories. We running through New York, so you know.
So, as many of you guys would have seen, and if you don't know, I've just recently purchased a BMW F20 M135i, and these also come in the M140i, and you can also buy the M235i also. Now, if you don't know what this car is, this is a much loved hatchback, one of the best award-winning hatchbacks in the UK when it was released, and people are crazy for them here in the UK because of the power they produce, how light they are, and also how reliable they have become over the years since the F chassis come along. Now, there's a lot of reasons, if you're in the market to buy one of these, why you should buy one. As I've said many times, one thing that always attracted me to these cars was the presence of them when they're coming down on the road. They look like no other, and in this Story blue, they look just fantastic. The color, the presence, the lighting, the mirrors, especially with the Shadow Edition pack, really makes these cars stand out compared to other 1 Series. You do get the so-called idiots with the 116 diesel, 120 diesel, who will try and turn it into the M135i or like the M140i, but it will just never be the same. One thing that makes these stand out over the normal F20s is the beefier grills, the bigger bumper as well. You've also got the M style alloys, the M performance calipers in blue. You've also got just a nice style body on these, and also the M calipers on the rear as well. And let's not forget, as you walk around, you can also tell it's an M135i just by that badge, which again many people can clone, but you can't clone the one thing on these, which is the exhaust sound. If you notice here, these have the twin exhaust pipes. They've got an exhaust actuator on them which opens and closes the valves, and the M55 sounds like no other. So why should you buy one of these cars in 2021? This has to be probably one of the best performance hatchbacks out there to date, along with the Golf R. Anyone who's looking to purchase one of these would be looking at a Golf R or the M135i or the M140i. These perform exactly as stated, or what you'll read up online or on reviews. They're incredibly quick, they're very economical. Also, they can keep up with many fast cars, even by today's standards. You know, one remap and these can keep up with an M3 very easily. These are very quick and capable cars. They've got a lot of good features. They're packed with a lot of good features, i.e., you know, you've got your logo on the extended cluster for the M135i, M140i. You've got launch control, you've got the professional nav, you've got the Bluetooth audio inside them. If you get a more later one, a 2014 plate, you will have the MBT system inside. They're still very up to date, they still look very modern, and it is a really nice car to drive. They handle like nobody's business, going around the corners. And if you get one with the adaptive suspension, I haven't driven one with the adaptive suspension, but from what I know, people say the springs are better, the M Sport suspension set up on the springs than the adaptive suspension. Whether that's the truth or not, I don't know, but for this one, it is on the standard springs and it handles incredibly well. If you're in the market and looking to buy one of these, I do assure you, just go and buy it. Do not think twice. Maintenance wise and running costs, they're not that high. The M55 engine, which is planted underneath this engine, is very strong and reliable. Any negative reviews you read on the engine underneath this will be from people with an E90 or people that have never owned one. The same kind of people that talk about an M5 and M3 are the people that have never owned one either. The M55 engine in the F20s was way much better, more reliable than the ones in the E90. and you do not need to fear a lot of things going wrong. One thing on these, if you're looking to buy one of them, you want to know what you need to look for, is there's a most common problem on these is on the gearbox. A lot of people don't change the fluid on these, and you'll pull it in reverse and it will make a whiny sound. So if you do go and buy one of these, just be sure to check that, because that can cost you a lot of money, especially if you're not mechanically inclined. Now, when you go to buy one of these, do not go based on what it's got, because a lot of people, including myself, when I go to buy one, if people go and buy it and then they see on here it's got the M Performance logo and they're not happy, or they get put off by it. Do not be put off by it if you see the M Performance logo. The software can be updated on these to have the M135I logo on the dash, just like you'll see here, which will pop up. And you'll also see that mine will have it on the right side here as well. That is just a software update, so do not get put off thinking, oh, it's the old style one and it can't have it, because it can have it. Also, these can have launch control in 2012, just like this one now has. So don't think of trying to opt for one by 2013 thinking you get launch control. This can have the launch control also with the normal pneumatic wastegate, so you don't need to have the electronic wastegate to have launch control. This one does have it. Of course, it is better to have the electronic wastegate, but it doesn't mean it's going to benefit in any shape or form. All it means having the electronic wastegate is it can hold boost longer at higher RPM. Not really a major difference. The engines are both the same. Now, the one thing that sets the M135i apart from the B58 is the exhaust sound on these. These sound raw, and these really sound mental when the valve opens on these. These are incredibly loud, and they've got a wicked sound that you will not get on the B58. That's the whole reason why I picked the M135i, because when you drive a B58 and you drive the M135i, you'll see what I mean by the sound difference. This has a sound like no other. Another reason why you should buy one of these, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, these are going to be the last rear wheel drive hatchback performance 1 Series cars you're ever going to get. The new 1 Series is now front wheel drive, and they are no fun to drive like these were. From the moment I saw these on Top Gear and Jeremy Clarkson reviewed it, I always wanted one. I knew this was going to be probably one of the best 1 Series they ever built, especially because they planted the M55 engine underneath it. You got to remember, this is what started the M1 Series brand before the new one. So the M135i started it all before the M140i come along. This car is what made history, and this is the car that started it all off. This was the first rear-wheel drive M performance car out there, and if you're in the market to buy one, I cannot say anything other than simply go and buy one. Do not go by what features it has or what it's got or what it ain't got. These cars are very easy to retrofit stuff into, so therefore if you're looking one to have it fully loaded, all you're going to do is pay more money for something that you could have actually done for less the amount. I paid very cheap for this one, and the fact is I'm going to retrofit everything I want in it for probably half the price that I would have paid for one to have all the options that I wanted in the car. Now, when you're looking at these, don't go by the options, do go by the service history, and do go by how well maintained it's actually been, because that is much better than what it's actually got spec'd inside the car. These M135Is and the M140Is come pretty highly spec'd. You know, this is was one of the top flagship 1 Series cars they were producing, so therefore they do come quite fully loaded. They do have the DAB radio, they do have the sat nav, they do have text messages come up on the screen from your phone. They have everything you can want on a car. Therefore, you ain't gonna need any more than what this car is actually gonna give you. The smile is going to give you just driving it, and especially the gear changes, the active sound design inside the cars, which is the noise coming through the speakers, alone is bliss just having that inside the car. The exhaust note sound in the car is absolutely brilliant and incredible, and you can also code it to have the gear shift sound as well coming through the active sound design inside these. All these cars come with active sound design module, and the sound delivered inside them is like no other. Like I said, I didn't think I was ever going to like it, but I've literally fallen in love with this car. It's a car I always wanted. I'm glad I got it in the color I wanted. And if you guys are in the market to go and buy one, I'm telling you right now, do not hesitate to buy one. Make sure You know, it's got the extended cluster if you can, and also the professional nav. Memory seats, auto lights, all this kind of stuff is not a major plus that it needs to have, and neither is having the newer style steering wheel, because you can retrofit all that. Neither is having cruise control, a major thing. Again, you can retrofit that. So if you're in the market to go and buy one, go and buy one of these cars and don't let nobody put you off. It all depends on what you want. I know these rival against the Golf R, and these are the two competitors. If you had them both together, it would be which one is up to you. Obviously the Golf is cheaper maintenance, and you know, you can get probably a newer plate and obviously higher technology in the Volkswagen than you can on the BM. If you go for the BMW, the M135i, you're going to get an older plate, older technology for more money. That's the way it is on BMW. The older the plate, the more money it is. On Volkswagen, less money it is, the newer the plate you get. But then bearing in mind, Volkswagen's a cheap luxury German brand, BMW's the luxury brand, of course. But I'll leave it down to you, but those are my reasons why you should buy this car. These cars are incredibly quick. They can be easily taken to a track, easily tunable. You can easily get these to 440 brake by stage 2 on these with little to no effort. They're easily one of the best performance hatchback cars on the road today, and they really do deliver a smile to your face every time you drive them. The handling is superb. The way the gear changes are lightning fast. It just delivers on everything you want, and obviously it delivers in all aspects that you can imagine from the ultimate driving machine. Okay guys, so as you would have seen now, I've now gone over why you should buy a BMW F20 M135i in 2021. Those are just my reasons why you should buy one. And as I said to you, do not go based on spec of the car, because a lot of people go for how much spec it's got in the car. Let me tell you one thing about these cars. All these M135i's all come with Bluetooth and Bluetooth audio as standard. Do not get conned by thinking you're buying the bigger screen and this, that, the other, going for every option inside it. If you can get it for and the money's worth it and the mileage is worth it, then go for it. But do not pay over the price just to have these certain features that you can actually retrofit for half the price. You're going to pay a lot more for the car to have that than what it's going to cost you to actually retrofit that into the car. So just please bear that in mind, that most of the retrofits are actually cheaper than you actually going out and spending all your money to get a fully loaded one, because it won't be worth that in the long run. Because remember, these day and age, cars go by the mileage and condition, not by what's fitted inside the car. So thank you very much for watching, guys. This is BMW Dr. Dean here, and if you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and subscribe. Thank you very much, and goodbye.